Don't you worry, don't you cry. I can promise it gets better in time. Keep your head up, keep your shine. Hold my hand up, it gets better in time.
Hi guys, I'm Ree. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, babe, hit the subscribe button because you're gonna want to stay. If you're returning, hey besties, it's so good to see you again. We're back with another meal prep video, okay? You already know what we're getting into because you already saw today's title. Listen, I know that I've been slacking putting out this content, but my eating really hasn't been like very consistent. I have shared on my vlogs what I've been going through with my eating, so like meal prepping really has not been happening because like I haven't really been hungry. You know, just as I'm getting older, my body's reacting to food differently and I really haven't had much of an appetite. So really meal prepping has been the last thing on my mind. But you know what? I came back with a video for you and I'm gonna have more for you because I really am trying to get back into a rhythm of things. So thank you guys for your patience. Thank you guys for your grace. This isn't even gonna be a long intro. Right here, you guys can pause the screen and read my disclaimer. I am not a professional. You already know that, never claimed to be. These are just foods that are helping me reach my health and fitness goals, and I'm just here sharing so that you guys can get some creative inspo to spice up your meal repertoire, because I know sometimes healthy eating can be boring, but it doesn't have to. My recipes will be down below in the description box, so if you just click that little PDF, you'll actually have access to the grocery list and each of the recipes, so you're welcome. And with that being said, why don't we go ahead and jump into this meal prep? Okay, so to kick off this meal prep, we are jumping right on in with a Mediterranean inspired tuna salad that's packed with tuna, chickpeas, olives, red onions, cucumbers, and you know, seasonings of choice. You guys can add and remove whatever you like, whatever you don't like, and customize it to make it your own. But let me just tell you, this little combination right here, she did the job, okay? This recipe is honestly so easy. There's no cooking required. The only elbow grease you're gonna have to put in is basically washing and then just chopping all of your vegetables. So I washed and kind of finely chopped this cucumber and then did the same for my red onion. I just wanted them to be as close to the size or a little bit smaller than the chickpeas, just so that the size could be uniform. And then I also drained some of the olives and I'm gonna go ahead and quarter them. I started by cutting them into smaller pieces, but that was just like taking too much time. So I ended up just quartering them and it worked perfectly fine. Now for my tuna, I'm using tuna that is packed in olive oil. I drained one and then kept the oil of the other one because I need the oil for my little vinaigrette that the sauce will make when I add in all of my seasonings and vinegar. And then I'm gonna go ahead and flake the tuna until it's at my desired, you know, size and texture. Then we're gonna go in and add our olives, the cucumbers, the red onion, and about a cup of the rinsed and drained chickpeas. And then I'm seasoning with black pepper, red pepper flakes, because you know, it's my girl. And then, you know, I feel like you can never go wrong with too much garlic powder. That's just me. So just add as much as you want. Some salt. And then I'm going to add about 4 to 5 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. You can definitely customize this to your liking, but 4 to 5 worked for me. I loved it. And then I'm just going to go ahead and give this a really good mix. And that's basically the tuna salad. I'm just going to pop it into a glass meal prep container stored in the fridge. It holds up really, really good for about 5 days, but honestly, it probably won't even last you that long because you're going to be eating it. You're going to be snacking on it. And then to serve it, I like to pile it high in a little ramekin and then drizzle it with this balsamic glaze. I don't know why, but this balsamic glaze has had me in a chokehold. It's the Rachel Ray brand and it's so good. You didn't know you needed it, so definitely go pick that up. And yeah, this is her. This is she. She's gorgeous and delicious. Next, we're making an orzo salad that's packed with cheese and veggies, and I absolutely love this recipe. My mom used to make this for me all the time, and I was feeling a little bit homesick, so I decided to make this because it reminds me of her. So I'm gonna do my best to try and recreate her famous orzo salad. So of course you'll need some orzo, some veggies, olive oil, cheese of choice. I'm using feta, of course garlic and lemons, and then any other seasonings of choice, which you'll see a little bit later on. Oh, and an onion. Can't forget the onion. So to start, I'm gonna go ahead and boil off about a cup of orzo in some super salty water. And while that's boiling, I'm gonna go ahead and get my produce ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash and chop my Brussels sprouts. I got these Brussels sprout halves, so I guess this is me technically quartering them and removing that fibrous stalk at the bottom. I'm also going to chop up a red onion into some medium pieces and then wash and de-stem my asparagus, and then of course mince some garlic. Now that all of our veggies have been chopped, I'm going to transfer them from a bowl onto an aluminum foil aligned baking sheet and dress them with my seasonings of choice, starting with a light drizzle of olive oil, some black pepper, red chili flakes, and a little bit of onion salt. And then I'm gonna take about 3/4 of the minced garlic that we just minced in the previous clips and sprinkle that on top, toss it together really well, and roast them in the oven at 425 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until they're soft, they're just slightly tender, and have a good color on them. All right, so now it's time to make our lemon dressing, and listen, when I tell y'all this dressing makes the dish, it makes it. It's not even anything special, but when you take a handful of flavorful ingredients and put them together, you already know what's about to happen. Exactly, it's about to slap. In a mason jar, add the juice of 2 lemons. I like mine really lemony, so feel free to add less if you're more sensitive to it. Follow it up with some olive oil, red chili flakes, black pepper, parsley flakes, onion salt, and a drizzle of honey. Mix it well and set it aside. Salmon is really the easiest thing to make, so I keep mine really simple by seasoning with a little bit of paprika and parsley flakes for color, and then the Trader Joe's chili lime seasoning, because that stuff is like crack in a jar. And then also a little bit of black pepper. Be sure to coat all sides of the fish with your seasoning and allow it to sit and marinate for about 10 to 15 minutes before searing it in a pan with some olive oil or some olive oil spray, whatever you have on hand. You know how to cook salmon. Now it's time to assemble our salad, so go ahead and get your drained and rinsed orzo, the roasted vegetables that we made, and then add a little bit of crumbled feta cheese and all of the lemon dressing that we made. Please do not skimp on the dressing, and give it a good mix. Definitely taste for seasonings. You may need more or less according to your palate, but listen, when I tell you I had to restrain myself from eating the whole thing, it was a new level of discipline because I tasted for seasonings like 5 times. It's that good. Once the salmon was finished, I removed it from the heat and allowed it to cool. It got a little bit of color, but y'all know how it is over here, okay? That's just what we do. You can serve the salmon hot, but I wasn't eating it that day, so I let it cool and then put it in the refrigerator. And then I placed the orzo salad in a glass meal prep container and stored it in the fridge until I was ready to eat it. Now when serving, I like to serve the orzo salad room temperature, so I piled a heaping portion of the salad and topped it off with a piece of salmon, which I heated, and drizzled it with some of that balsamic glaze, and I'm telling you, the glaze is fire. It's optional, but it's definitely makes or breaks a dish. This next dish is an oldie but goodie, but I could honestly eat this every single day because it's super quick and easy, and not to mention delicious. Salmon sushi bowls are a go-to when I just don't feel like cooking, and I just want something fast. So you need basic ingredients like sticky rice, salmon, soy sauce, sriracha, other seasonings, and more. I'll have them listed on the screen as well as down below in the description. Remember, all recipes are down below in the description box. To start, you're gonna take your sticky rice and run it under cold water until the water runs clear. It's gonna take about 3 to 4 times, maybe even more, but I did it about 3 to 4 times. Add it to a pot of water and prepare as it's mentioned on the box. Then season your salmon generously. My seasonings are on the screen, and make sure that you season all sides, okay? We wanna make sure that all the flavor is on all sides of it just because, well, do we need a reason? Yeah, I don't think so. Then you're gonna sear it in a pan with a little bit of olive oil and cook until the salmon is golden on both sides. I had to season the other side while it was in the actual pan. I don't know what I was thinking. I really feel like I should have just did it all at once, but you know what? It's fine, it's great. Just season both sides. So the sushi rice requires a sugar and vinegar mixture, so I combined the two, heated them up in the microwave, and mixed well until the sugar was completely dissolved. Then you're gonna fluff up the rice while it's still really hot and pour the vinegar mixture in. This is what's gonna give it that stickiness and that overall sushi rice flavor that we all know and love. It's kind of tangy, not really sweet, but like, you know what I mean, okay? So you'll kind of see it go from looking like regular rice, and then it gets fluffy and sticky, and then you see how it's all coming together. Now you already know what to do. We're gonna plate up some rice and some salmon, and we're gonna use a fork to break up the salmon so that it's all really one cohesive mixture. And then you're gonna drizzle on some sriracha sauce, and I use the Kewpie mayo, I don't know how you really say it, but I'll put it on the screen. And it's definitely different than regular mayonnaise. I don't know, I didn't like it with regular mayonnaise, so I think this one makes the difference because I like this one better. And then I also ended up adding a splash of soy sauce off camera just for a little extra saltiness, and then I mixed it well, and then you can serve with your veggies of choice. I used cucumbers and then some seaweed, and there you have it, quick and easy lunch or dinner. Okay, so I saved the best for last because this is my favorite recipe of this entire meal prep. We are making chocolate dipped strawberry barks that has strawberries, yogurt, peanut butter, and then it's of course dipped in the most glorious shell of chocolate ever. Like you know, if it's chocolate, it's for me, okay? So first up, we're gonna go ahead and wash our strawberries, and then I'm going to de-stem all of them. This took me a little bit. This is the most prep work you're pretty much gonna do with this entire dish. So go ahead and remove all of the little stems off the strawberries, and then we're gonna chop them up into like small to medium pieces. Okay, so now transfer all your cut strawberries into a bowl, and we're gonna add about 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup of that yogurt. I'm using a cashew yogurt because you guys know I'm a little sensitive to dairy. And then of course we have to season our yogurt because like I just can't eat yogurt without cinnamon. So we put a little bit of cinnamon in there, but you can totally omit that. I just like the taste of cinnamon. Then we're gonna go ahead and give that a really good mix, making sure that all of the strawberries are combined. And then we're gonna go ahead and start scooping them out and putting them on a plastic lined baking tray so that we can make for easier cleanup in the end. And we're gonna go ahead and make these like little round patty kind of shapes. I believe mine made about 7. Now that all of our patties have been made, I'm gonna go ahead and drizzle with about 1 to 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. You can add more or less. I just figured a little peanut butter never hurt nobody, so we're gonna add it right in the center. And then we're gonna pop these in the freezer until they're frozen solid. So fast forward to the next day, I let them freeze overnight to make sure that they were really nice and hard. And then I'm gonna go ahead and break up 2.5 chocolate bars. I used 1.5 of the milk chocolate and then the full dark chocolate bar. And I added just a tiny little bit of coconut oil to give that chocolate shell feel. And then we're gonna go ahead and melt the chocolate. I just did it in increments of 30 seconds in the microwave and then just stirred in between to make sure that we weren't burning it. And look at this sight, okay? Now, the patties look kind of weird on their own, but you're gonna go ahead and dip them in one by one in this chocolate, and you wanna get it on both sides. This is kind of messy. I try to do a good job of not showing you guys the mess, but when I tell you my kitchen was covered in chocolate, like, it was even on the floor. Don't ask me how I did it, but just know that this is what the final product is gonna look like, and they look just as good as they taste. I mean, look at that. Look at the texture shot. You got layers upon layers of goodness, peanut butter, chocolate, strawberry. Like, that's just a great combination. All right, guys, so that is going to conclude this week's meal prep video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did and you made it this far, comment down below which one of the recipes was your favorite. I think for me, it's definitely the chocolate covered little strawberry barks. Mouth watering, literally my favorite. I love you guys so incredibly much. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Also be sure to turn on your post notifications. That way you can be notified every time I drop a new video. And until next time, babes, I'll see you in my next.